All right. Mining cryptocurrency was a great way to use your best graphics card to make a little money on the side. Being able to use an idle GPU to crunch numbers when not playing games allows you to make the most of the performance available. Unfortunately, since we originally created this guide, the crypto markets have crashed and Ethereum has moved to a proof of stake. Mining crypto through GPUs. But since this guide has been published, this was a great way to make some cash on the side. But since what has happened? But markets have crashed. Well, it's not as easy to make a tidy earning with your GPU mining cryptocurrencies as before. There may be some other coins that may be worth it if you're mindful of energy use and initial cost. The absolute best gaming graphics card does not equal the best value in returns of mining using your PC. We've got a recommendation of everyone here. It still has some value. There still may be value in mining crypto. Okay. And they're now going to provide recommendations of what kind of GPUs to use. What is the best GPU for crypto mining? Choosing the best graphics card for crypto mining isn't as simple as picking the absolute most expensive card you can locate and calling it a day. So you can't just pick the most expensive card and be done with it, right? There are various factors to consider when shopping around for a new GPU to make some money with. The most important factor of any GPU for crypto mining is efficiency. You want a high hash rate for as little electricity as possible. So what is the goal? High hash rate with respect to electricity costs. This is what we need to consider when buying a GPU for crypto mining. Take our highest recommendations here. For example, is the NVIDIA GeForce 3060 Ti, an incredible GPU for gaming, but it's also excellent for crypto mining. It won't win awards for the highest hash rate, but for the more affordable price, it will get you up and running without any issue. So it's one of their best recommendations is this NVIDIA GeForce 3060. It's great for crypto mining, also for games. May not be the best in class, but it is quite affordable. If you wanted something a little cheaper without sacrificing too much in performance, the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 is your guy. So this is just creating like a list of preferences. But there are countless other GPUs that are worth considering, and not only from NVIDIA. The AMD Radeon is our favorite GPU for value, offering an impressive hash rate for the asking price. Then there's the AMD, which is perfect for those on a tight budget who wish to save a few bitcoins or Ethereum to weather a financial storm. So reading passages like this is really interesting. What happens is something you need to pay attention to is don't get too driven by the details, right? What is just going on? This is a bunch of recommendations. That's all. What works within a specific graphic card, what is good, what is not good, and that's it. We really don't need to get into the details. We start getting into the details too much, we might lose track of what really is happening and invest a lot of time where we should not be doing. So I'll just keep a track of, okay, this passage was talking about a bunch of recommendations. What next? You don't have to spend much at all to make money mining cryptocurrency. Okay, not a lot of money needs to be spent. Money for mining, it's not a lot. Okay, so long as the hash rate will pull in coins for you to sell and make enough to cover electricity costs, you're already in the green. Once you factor in a few months to pay off the GPU, I think this would mean pay off the GPU, you're in profit, and that's not taking into account the resale value of the card itself. Okay, so few months, a few months of mining will pay off the GPU. And then if you basically paying off the GPU, and then because the card has resale value, you can sell the card, and then already you've made a profit. When deciding on a GPU for crypto mining, you need to bear in mind a few factors. Okay, do you want to pay more upfront now and potentially earn higher returns? Or do you feel as though the mining scene will dissipate slightly with lower returns and wish to spend only small amount on GPU to make a little extra on the side? What is your take on crypto market and basically this is talking about risk appetite. This is talking about risk appetite. Do you have the appetite to take the risk, or do you feel that it's a risky proposition? Mining crypto is a risky proposition because you're spending money, right? So if you pay for if you're looking for a great GPU and you mine all these coins and great, but the value of the coins goes next to zero, then there's no point in those coins, right? You wasted a lot of money. So what is your risk appetite? Where do you see the market heading? The cryptocurrency market is a financial one, and that means it's extremely susceptible to media coverage and human emotion. Take the damning environmental reports about Bitcoin that coincided with the Chinese crackdown to send the price spiraling. If you're about to spend $2,000 on a GPU to mine cryptocurrencies, best be sure you can at least recuperate the initial purchase cost. So this is talking about unstable. Crypto market is unstable, therefore saying make sure you can get the initial cost back. Even if you don't make a killing in the market, at least make sure that you get the initial cost back. This is why we are not recommending only the most powerful and expensive GPUs available today. That doesn't make any sense in the current climate. But it's also outright bad advice for those new to the wonderful world of mining digital currency. So what is this saying? Recommendations that they're giving are based on current climate, and if you are new to mining coins, don't buy the most expensive GPU is what they're saying. If you're new to the market, do not buy the most expensive. This is an inference we can gain from here. What is it saying? We're not recommending only the most powerful and expensive GPUs available today. And why are they not doing that? Because A, the climate is bad, and 2, this article is meant for beginners. So if you're starting out, it's not really good to spend on the to go and buy the most expensive one. Unlike gaming, where only the best GPU you can afford will do, choosing one for crypto mining is a little more challenging. What about all other GPUs for crypto mining? There are plenty of GPUs available out there, and many of them offer considerably higher hash rates, making them ideal for cryptocurrency mining. We couldn't include every graphics card here, and so this collection only includes handpicked recommendations that cover multiple price ranges. Okay. So long as the GPU you consider buying will make more money than the electrical cost to run the PC, you're good to go. Leave it running for a few months and you'll have accumulated enough to pay off the card. You could stop here and sell the card to recuperate some of the initial cost or continue with passive income. So if you look at the whole thing, they are basically not taking responsibility for the recommendations they're making, right? So they're playing it very safe, right? Just buy the card, buy a decent one, and once you leave it running for a few months, you'll have enough to pay the electricity cost and also pay off the card that you bought, the GPU. And at that point, you may choose to either sell off the card and gain the profit, or you can choose to continue with the passive income. Let's take a look at the questions. The writer uses the word crunch numbers in the first paragraph to communicate that it involves crunching numbers, generating unique algorithms to develop recreating products. Nothing like this was mentioned at all. Crunching numbers is colloquially used to solve a large scale, large size of numbers and get some kind of analysis from them. Solving algorithms that help solve money matters. We have no clue about any algorithm. Large scale processing of numerical data. Exactly. Crunching numbers is large scale processing of numerical data. Gathering numerical data for financial research. We have no clue what the data is for. What it does is large scale processing of numerical data, and that's how Bitcoin is mined. C is the answer. Select the option that correctly reflects what the idiom in the given sentence means. Let's first identify what the idiom is. Choosing the best graphics card isn't as simple as picking the absolute most expensive card. You can locate and call it a day. Calling it a day is the idiom that I'm looking for. Calling it a day means stopping. Not compromising on quality, no. Making informed choices, no. Getting confused, no. Ceasing work, yes. Stopping, ceasing work, stopping. Select the option that displays what aspects the text title, what is best GPU for crypto mining, does not represent. So what is this saying? What aspects are suggested in that paragraph? What is the best GPU for crypto mining? What really is it? This whole thing is talking about what? In the sense, what is it providing you with? It is providing you with information on the different GPUs that you can buy. Let's take a look. Information, yes, it is providing information. Prediction, no. It made no prediction as to what is going to happen, right? No predictions were made. Suggestion, yes, it is giving me suggestions on which one to choose depending on my requirements. Precaution, yes, it did give me precautions as well, right? It said that it did say that if you're new, don't immediately purchase the most expensive one. It is also giving me precautions as well. Introduction, no. Introduction happened way before that, right? So 2 and 5 are the ones that are not being presented. Option B is my answer. What is the writer's most likely intent of using question headings in this text? Retain a certain measure of deniability. Compel the reader to agree with explanation that follows. Create an atmosphere of uncertainty and suspense. No, this is definitely wrong. Present information in a systematic chronology. Not really. I mean, that could have been presented without having to resort to a question format, right? You can use numbers there. Why would you use questions? Compel the reader to agree with explanation that follows. Not necessarily, right? Compel the reader to agree with explanation that does not mean that I'll use a question mark for that. So this is one of those situations where it's not really convincing the options. I'm able to eliminate B, C, and D in this case. Retain a certain measure of deniability. Like I said, the whole paragraph was on some level trying to absolve itself of any kind of direct recommendation and any kind of deniability. So I'll take this as an answer. Select the option that displays words similar in meaning to recuperate from the last line of the text. So we're looking for words that mean similar to recuperate. To recuperate is to bring back. Where is the? Let's take a look at the context in which this word was used. I think there was one here. Yeah. Leave it running for a few months and you'll have accumulated enough to pay off the card. You could stop here and sell the card to recuperate, to retrieve, recover. sum of the initial cost or continue with passive income. Recover, retrieve. Right? That's what we're looking for. Let's take a look. Represent, remove, regain. Represent is wrong. Remove is wrong. Regain is okay. Renew is wrong. Return, not return. Represent is also wrong. Remove is wrong. Retain, maybe we can take this. Reinstall, no. So BC. Regain, yes. Recover, yes. Retrieve, yes. So D is my answer.